ಯುವ ಜನತೆಯನ್ನ ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಬದಲಾವಣೆಯ ಪ್ರಮುಖ ಅಂಗವಾಗಿಸುವ ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಮಣಿಪಾಲ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿ ಆಫ್ ಹೈಯರ್ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್, ವಾಲಂಟಿಯರ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸಸ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್, ಇನ್ನೋವೇಷನ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಮಾಹೆ ಮತ್ತು ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಇನ್ನೋವೇಷನ್ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲ್ ವತಿಯಿಂದ ಆಯೋಜನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ ಮಟ್ಟದ 3ನೇ ಯೂತ್ ಇನ್ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಸಮ್ಮೇಳನವನ್ನು ಮಾಹೆ ಟ್ರಸ್ಟ್ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರು, ಮಣಿಪಾಲ್ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ನ ಚೇರ್ಮನ್ ಆಗಿರುವ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ರಂಜನ್ ಆರ್ ಪೈ ಉದ್ಘಾಟಿಸಿದರು. ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷತೆ ವಹಿಸಿ ಮಾತನಾಡಿದ ಮಾಹೆ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಚಾನ್ಸಲರ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಎಚ್.ಎಸ್. ಬಳ್ಳಾಲ್, ಭಾರತದ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯದ ಅಮೃತೋತ್ಸವದ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಆತ್ಮನಿರ್ಭರ ಭಾರತಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಧಾನಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಒತ್ತನ್ನು ನೀಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಭಾರತದ 52% ಜನರು 24 ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಕೆಳಗಿನ ವಯಸ್ಸಿನವರು. ಈ ಯುವ ಶಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ಪೂರ್ಣ ಪ್ರಮಾಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಳಕೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಬದಲಾವಣೆಯನ್ನ ಸಾಧಿಸುವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಿದೆ ಅಂತ ತಿಳಿಸಿದರು. ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಯುವ ಜನರಿಗೆ ವಿವಿಧ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳ ಮೂಲಕ ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಬದಲಾವಣೆಯನ್ನ ತರುವ ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೋತ್ಸಾಹವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಲಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಮಾತ್ರವಲ್ಲದೆ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಮತ್ತು ಅಂತಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ತರುವಲ್ಲಿ ಶ್ರಮಿಸಿದ ಯುವ ಅಂಬಾಸಿಡರ್ಗಳಾದ ವೆಂಕಟಕೃಷ್ಣನ್, ಕುಲ್ದೀಪ್ ದಾಂತೆವಾಡ, ಜಿಕ್ಸಾ ಲಾಬ್ರೋ, ಅಂಚಿತ್ ಜೈನ್, ವಿನೀತ್ ಸರೈವಾಲಾ, ಅಶುತೋಷ್ ಕುಮಾರ್ ಭಾಗಿಯಾಗಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಾಗಾರವನ್ನು ನಡೆಸಿಕೊಟ್ಟರು. ಭಾರತದಾದ್ಯಂತದಿಂದ ಸುಮಾರು 700ಕ್ಕೂ ಮಿಕ್ಕಿ ಯುವಕ ಯುವತಿಯರು ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಮ್ಮೇಳನದಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗಿಯಾಗಿದ್ದರು. ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭ ಮಾಹೆ ವೈಸ್ ಚಾನ್ಸಲರ್ ಲೆಫ್ಟಿನೆಂಟ್ ಜನರಲ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಎಂ.ಡಿ. ವೆಂಕಟೇಶ್, ವಾಲಂಟಿಯರ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸಸ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಸಂಯೋಜಕರಾದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಅನೂಪ್ ನಾಹಾ, ಇನ್ನೋವೇಷನ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಮಾಹೆ ಸಹಾಯಕ ನಿರ್ದೇಶಕರಾದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಸುಚೇತಾ ಕೊಲೆಕರ್ ಮೊದಲಾದವರು ಉಪಸ್ಥಿತರಿದ್ದರು.
M.D. Venkatesh, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Mahe, to welcome the gathering.
Resource persons, Mr. Venkatakrishnan, Principal Trustee, Indian Wellness CEO, REAP Benefit, Mr. Vineet Sarai.
To welcome Lieutenant General Dr. M.D. Venkatesh, Vice Chancellor Mahe, H.S. Ballal, to address the gathering.
Dr. Venkatesh, DSO boss, Anup Naha, our resource persons who are adoring the front row of the audience, faculty members of Mahe, invitees, members of the press.
We are a young country and youngsters like you are the change makers of the societal problems. Mahe focuses on serving the community through volunteerism. It has a sustainable volunteering engagement and has evolved a system over the years for academic volunteering in higher education in India. Through volunteering, students gain opportunities to meaningfully engage in community service that benefits the community and also instill a sense of civic and social responsibility within them. The National Education Policy 2020, which has been approved by the Union Cabinet of India today, is in for us to flourish, lays strong emphasis on community engagement and community service for community building. This is due to see implementation in higher education sector. Along with this, the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, Government of India, in collaboration with the United Nations volunteers, has initiated a project strengthening Nehru Yuva Kendra Sangatans and National Service Scheme to understand what motivates people to volunteer and the nature of engagement of volunteer involving organizations. And a conference of this nature is the need of the hour to provide volunteers with an opportunity to interact with like-minded people and strengthen the civic muscle. Every year, India's Festival of Giving for the past 10 years as one of the means to encourage students to be a catalyst for social change. Now the educational focus is moving towards life skills, attitudes, and personal awareness, which the students will need in an increasingly
is a very, very important day, auspicious day for all of us, not only in Mahe, but entire Manipal group, because it happens to be the birthday of our Chancellor, 87th birthday of our Chancellor today. So I should compliment BSO as well as Innovation Center for organizing this very important conference in youth in social change on this auspicious day. I, on behalf, finished 75 years of independence. Amrit Mahotsav, as our Prime Minister proudly calls it. And the next 25 years, till we achieve our centenary, he says Amrit Kaal. And also one of the slogans that he frequently mentions is Atmanirbhar, that is self-reliance. Yesterday I was listening to the television where our Defence Minister, Rajnath Singh, said, by 2025, in another 3 years, we will be self-reliant, Atmanirbhar, as far as defence is concerned, which is very, very important. And the theme of this conference, I am given to understand, is joy of giving through community innovations. We have a distinct demographic advantage in our country. We have more than 52% of our population of 1.4 billion are below the age of 25 years. That is youth, which no other country in the world has. So it is very important that on this very important year, we should take advantage of this youth power. That's why we have organized this conference. You can definitely make a change. And as the aim of the conference is to encourage the concept of giving among the youth and to sensitize them toward bringing social change.
Our society to not get shamed, mainly because of what young people are doing, which is calling out all kinds of shaming, right? And last but not the least, I think what your generation is doing, talking about the carbon footprint, about what we need to do to make sure that the planet will survive. I think all these patterns of change are being adopted by young people, and gradually older people like me are getting forced to adopt some of these patterns of change as well. Why change? Why do we need to change anything at all? At least my generation is throwing things up big time. You know, we have really hurt the environment in a very, very bad way. In the name of, we've done a lot of good for the country, for the world, etc. But somewhere these trade-offs on the environment in the name of development, perhaps we've overdone it, and I think at least now even the harshest critics of climate change theory are beginning to accept that the climate is actually changing for the worse. There is growing inequality, and there's also a lot more hidden poverty. You know? And last but not the least, there is this growing insatiable hunger for more, right? So the idea that greed is good and I want more and I want more and I want more. All these things are taking us in potentially dicey directions. I don't think we've reached a point of no return or things are bad, really, etc. There are a lot of positives. But I think some of these things need to change. I think we don't have to work with this assumption that development has to hurt the environment.